Yeah, they took us to the bridge. That's right, the bridge. So, yeah, and then we had a picture. So, yeah, we got given a leaflet about engineering on board Ventura. After that, they took us to the kitchens. And I have to say, yeah, that was crazy part. Come on down in a second. So, we went on a behind the scenes tour of Ventura. I've mentioned this in previous vlogs and stuff. Now, we were not allowed to take any phones with us, so no photos or videos was allowed to be captured on the tour, but I am going to try and remember some of it now and tell you as much as I can. So yeah, we saw so many things on the tour. It lasted 3 hours. The cost of it was £75 per person. That is worth it because, as I said, 3 hours long it lasted. We started off by having a behind the scenes tour of the arena, backstage and stuff. I tell you what, backstage it was so rocky. Oh my god, it's unbelievable how rocky it was there. I mean, I don't really know how they do it. It's like, you know, you could be like, oh, I'm on stage, and I should be on stage. I've been walked on stage. Yeah, that was kind of funny. So that was nice to hear about backstage. I mean, the shows on Ventura were absolutely fantastic, and it was nice to see the backstage bits there. After that, we were taken down into the mooring room, and yeah, this is a big open space. You know, it's got holes and stuff. It was pretty wet in there because when they pull in the ropes and stuff, it brings in the water. So yeah, we had to be careful in there, and that was interesting. So yeah, it was a great room to see. After that, I think we went to the engine room, the engine control room. That was pretty exciting. That was the longest part of the tour, actually. We spent 45 minutes in there, and we even got given a leaflet. Yeah, we got given a leaflet about engineering on board Ventura. This ship, yeah, it takes a lot of engineering. So there's a lot of pages to read and stuff, corridor and stuff. When we were in there, yeah, in 45 minutes, he explained a lot. You know, basically, the engines are very tall. They take up 3 decks. So on Ventura, the lowest deck for that people can go to is deck 4. You know, below that is all engines, because engines are 3 decks high. So yeah, they are very big engines. That is very interesting, isn't it? Ventura has 6 engines in total, and you know, they power all the electricals, you know, the lights, the heating, the air conditioning, and they try and run Ventura on the lowest possible. They try to be eco-friendly and stuff. When it's in port, on port days, they normally only running 1 engine just to make sure there's enough power for the lights and stuff. All the rest are on standby. Sometimes they have to run more engines than they would like because they need more power and stuff. So yeah, this is the engine control room that we went in. We actually went in that room, so it was very exciting to go in that room and have a look around the room. The engine control room is the nerve center of the ship. They actually have more work to do in the engine control room than the bridge, because like the ship is on, you know, an auto ship drive, whatever you want to call it, and stuff. So they're just sitting in there relaxing in the bridge, and down in the engine room they're doing all the work. So it is manned 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. There's 3 watch split patterns of 4 hours on, 8 hours off, pretty similar to the bridge. Each watch has a 2nd engineering officer, a 3rd engineering officer, and a moto man. The engine room is in constant communication with the bridge to ensure smooth running of the ship. So that's all very interesting. Just in case you didn't know, Ventura took 2 years to build and cost £600 million. It entered service in 2008. And every 2 weeks, she uses $1 million of fuel. That is a lot of fuel. A lot of cost. A lot of money. Fuel is purchased in US dollars on the global market. Ventura can carry 3,200 tons of fuel. We did actually have a fuel stop halfway through this trip and had to have a refill of fuel. You probably saw it in one of the vlogs if you've been watching them. If not, make sure you go back to watch. Ventura has 6 side thrust pillars to assist with docking, to get it in and get it out. We need to dock out of the side and stuff. There are three at the bow and 3 at the stern. Ventura requires approximately 11,000 kilowatts of electrical power when it is tied up alongside and pulled for all the lights, air conditioning and various electrical equipment. So yeah, there's a lot of information about the control room, and that is why, we spent, I'm pretty sure it's about 45 minutes we spent in the control room, the longest part of the tour. So yeah, a lot of interesting stuff in there. After that, they took us to the kitchens, and I have to say, that was crazy part. Come on down a second. So yeah, they took us through into some freezers. Yes, freezers. We were dressed in shorts and t-shirt, and they took us into freezers. It was pretty cold. They even took us into the ice cream freezer at minus 18 degrees. It's pretty cold in there, I'm telling you that. Yeah, it's pretty funny because the most stock they had was the ice cream, because you have to pay for that. That's not included. So yeah, that was the most stock they had. Now they told us that all the drinks and food and stuff, they all stock up on a 14-day cruise. This was, and they all stock up in Southampton. They don't stock up again. So that was really interesting. We were wondering about that, and that was a question that was answered. However, it doesn't always work, because actually towards the end of the holiday, the last 3 days were pretty poor in terms of drinks. There was lots of bars that were running out and we couldn't get the drinks that we wanted. When you're on a drinks package, that's not very good. So yeah, I think that bit needs looking at again, really. Yeah, so we did see everywhere where they prepped all the food and stuff, all the kitchens. They were making some breads and stuff. We saw the soup thing. So yeah, that was all very interesting. We had our tour in the morning, actually. It was at 8:45 a.m. start. They were just in the middle between breakfast and lunch then, at that point. And so after that, they took us up to the most exciting part, the part you've all been waiting for, the part we've all waited for, the part where you do the behind the scenes tour. Yeah, they took us to the bridge. That's right, the bridge. And that is a really, really exciting time. It was absolutely fantastic to go up there and see the bridge. So we met the officer of the watch, the co-officer of the watch, and yeah, the third officer was guiding us around, explaining about stuff. I mean, the bridge is really, really long, and taking a look down the side of the ship and seeing all the way down the sides, you could down the side of the ship, was absolutely fantastic to have a look at. It really, really was. Yeah, they were telling us how they dock the ship into the sides. They use the side control panels to when they need to dock at either side and stuff. Of course, they sit in the middle and use the middle bit when they're at sea days. This was a sea day. It was absolutely great to watch the sea and stuff and see clear in front of you. They had a watchman there looking out. That is the only place where they have a watchman now. They don't have a watchman anywhere else on the ship, just on the bridge, because they have all this modern technology now that can tell you if the ship is close, if another ship is close and stuff. So that was that's really, really interesting. I mean, it was just absolutely fantastic to be on the bridge. It really was. I mean, I could have stayed on the bridge all day. Yeah, really could have done. So yeah, and then we had a picture. So here is a picture. Can you see those? Yeah, so here is a picture of us, and you can see, you know, the control bit down here and stuff, and you can see how you can see down the side of the ship. So that is us in the bridge. Yeah, so we had a photo. Although we paid £75 for the tour, this photo was an extra £25 and £1 for the frame. £26. That's a bit of a cheek, isn't it? After you're paying £75 for, you know, the cruise. The behind the scenes tour thing. Yeah, I did buy a model of the ship. I haven't actually opened it yet, so you just have to see. So this bit of the front here. So yeah, you know, obviously I'm talking about the bridge. This is the bridge of the front. Yeah, it was really good to go on a behind the scenes tour of Ventura. Yeah, and as you saw in the in the photo there, we did get a lanyard. We had to wear this so they knew you were on the behind the scenes tour, and we thought we might have to give this back at the end, but we did not. We got to keep this as a nice little souvenir. P&O Cruises behind the scenes tour. And then, yeah, I wish we could have stayed longer on the bridge. I could have stayed all day on the bridge. I really could have done. But after we finished off with the bridge, we went and we had some champagne and canapes, which was also included in the price. So yeah, that was really good. Those canapes were really nice as well. And yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed that. So yeah, as I said, it took 3 hours to go round on the behind the scenes tour. Would I recommend it? Well, as I've already said, it costs £75 per person to do, and absolutely I would. I think the price is fair and definitely worth it. If you're interested in going around and looking behind the scenes, I definitely recommend doing a behind the scenes tour of Ventura or any P&O ship, or any ship maybe that does it. Obviously you've got to weigh out the price and stuff. But as I said, it was well worth it. You know, we got to go on a bridge, look in the engine control room, the morning room. Yeah, definitely recommend doing it if you ever get a chance to do it, if you're ever on a ship. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you watch the cruise vlogs if you've not watched them already. Loads on the channel. Do make sure you watch them. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you smash a like on the video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Goodbye.